Oftentimes people ask me what types of movements should they be doing to prepare for running or to prepare for working out, especially lower body movements. What I like is really take a neuromuscular activation approach to this, because what I'm finding are a lot of people are just really lacking that conscious control of their body. So taking a step back and work on these basic isometric holds can be very valuable in setting the stage for better performance. So we want to do this in a more of a sequential approach. So starting from the ground, going to quadruped, and then moving up to standing is a very good way to start. I see a lot of people are just so used to doing these standing exercise, but if we get down to the ground and we get in this position where we don't have to control so much throughout the body, where we can really isolate and connect with the soft tissue a lot better, we'll see quicker results, especially from a neuromuscular standpoint. If you work on these pretty consistently, you can see yourself start to really get that engagement a lot better in about a week or two. It doesn't take as long as building true strength. So first exercise is the side lying hip abduction. And starting from the ground here, knees are bent. I'm on my side. I'm going to lift my top leg up and back. This exercise just kind of sets the stage. It allows us to feel the muscles we want to feel and engage. So here, posterior glute med, right in the back side of the glute here. So when you first start this one, you might need to find out, okay, what position do I feel that glute med fire in? Some people, it's more straight up into abduction. Other people have to extend a little more. It's kind of based on your hips and your anatomy, the way the fibers of those tissues run. So for me, I'm holding right here, I'm feeling that glute. I want to hold this position for about 30 to 60 seconds. If before that time I feel like that muscle fatigues, or I start to feel my low back, hamstring, quad, could be a couple different muscles that could compensate here, you can just lower back down, regroup, and then fire that muscle again. Again, trying to adjust your position of your toes to see how much of a difference that makes. So I'm feeling my glute pretty good here. Again, once you master that, work on it every single day, 30 to 60 second holds, doing it multiple times. In about a week or two, you're gonna wanna go to quadruped. So quadruped, a lot of people have heard of the fire hydrant. Love the fire hydrant, great exercise, but really like to hold that position rather than continue to go through the range of motion. So if we're here, hands into the shoulders, knees into the hips, I'm gonna come out to the side, and then possibly backwards. Again, same thing, depends on you. Where do you feel like you're firing that glute? But at all times, I wanna stay contracted through my abs because I don't wanna lift up, create extension at my spine, and rotate my hips. It's just a very small motion out to the side, engaged. There we go, so feel right there, feel the hips firing. Same thing, I'm gonna hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. As I sit in that position, if I lose it, I'm gonna lower down. Reset, take a breath, and then come back up again. Okay, once I master that, again, working on it every single day, several times a day, 1 to 2 weeks, really have that down. It's no issue. I can hold it for 60 seconds. I'm gonna go and grab a band. So this is one where now we're gonna move through the range of motion, but it's actually the stationary leg. So it still is an isometric hold because it's the stationary leg that we're focusing on. It's called lateral toe taps. So if I'm sticking with the right leg that I just worked on, those past two exercises, I can still do those to prime myself for this one. There's no reason you have to stop doing those exercises, but we're trying to progress and now work on this neuromuscular activation in more of an upright position that carries over to the movements that we complete on a daily basis, whether it's running, whether it's just doing things at home, walking up and down stairs, playing with your kids, sports, doesn't matter. We're trying to get better movement for everyday life. So here, I want a lighter band, nothing that's really pulling me and really cranking on the knees inward. I'm gonna sit in more of a hip dominant position. So if you see from here, my butt is back, my knees are slightly bent. I'm gonna sit in that position. I'm gonna load my leg, okay? And then from there, I'm gonna bring my left leg out to the side and then come back. So even though this leg is moving, this is still an isometric hold because this knee is tugging at the band, which is just above the knee joint. So it's trying to pull me into internal rotation here at the hip. I'm using that hip muscles of the glute, which we just worked on activation, hopefully the last couple weeks on, to really maintain alignment of this limb. So butts back, tap, come over. I'm not setting. I see a lot of people shifting their weight. You're not going to get activation of the hip when weight is on both feet. You have to be on a single leg, tap, and then come back. So you can work on 10 to 20 repetitions of that, really just taking your time. If you feel like you fatigue, shake out the legs. Take a deep breath, reset, and then go again. So that is the final step in the process. Again, work on step by step. We don't always jump to the hardest variation. We work on really fine-tuning the basics and then progressing when we are able to. And doing that in that fashion will be a good prep or warm-up, regardless of your running, your working out, just something you need to do on a daily basis because you're coming back from a previous injury, or you just want to keep your hips and your body healthy. That's a great activation strategy.